Derek and Hannah. The couple from Blackmere Lake. Image: nobody in Blackmere remembers exactly when the disappearances started. Some say it began with the lake, others say it began with the church bell that rang by itself every night at 3:13 a.m. But the oldest people in the village, the ones who still locked their doors before sunset, believed it began with love. Not normal love, the kind that rots, the kind that follows you home. And every story always ended with the same two names, Dara and Hannah. They were beautiful together. That was the first thing people noticed. Wherever they walked, people stared. Dara had a crooked smile and dark curls that always looked wet from rain. Hannah looked almost unreal. Pale skin, hollow eyes, long dark hair that moved even when there was no wind. The village loved them at first, until the animals started dying. It began with birds falling from the sky whenever the couple kissed near the lake. Then dogs refused to walk past Hannah's house. Then people started waking in the middle of the night, hearing breathing outside their windows. Slow, wet, patient. One boy claimed he saw Dara standing in the woods at midnight, staring directly into his bedroom from over a mile away. The next morning, the boy's tongue was found nailed to a tree beside Blackmere Lake. After that, nobody joked about the couple anymore. But the truly horrifying part wasn't what Dara and Hannah did. It was how much they loved each other. They were never apart. Never. If Hannah entered a room, Dara appeared seconds later. If Dara was seen near the church, Hannah would already be waiting outside. Sometimes villagers swore they moved unnaturally, like shadows pretending to be human. Then came the night of the festival. Rain hammered the village square while music echoed through the streets. Around midnight, the power failed. Every light died at once. For 11 seconds, Blackmere was completely dark. People would later say those 11 seconds changed the village forever. When the lights returned, 13 people were gone. No screams, no blood, only wet footprints leading toward the lake. Search parties found the missing villagers 3 days later floating beneath the water, standing upright with their eyes open as though they were still alive. Every corpse wore the same expression, pure terror, and carved into each chest were the words, "Love never leaves." After the funeral, Father Byrne visited Hannah's family home alone. He carried holy water, a crucifix, and a shotgun. He never returned. The police found the house empty except for the dining room. The table was set for dinner. 3 plates, 3 glasses, and Father Byrne's teeth arranged neatly beside Hannah's chair. That was when people began locking themselves indoors after sunset. But Blackmere had already become cursed. The nightmares spread first. Villagers dreamed of drowning in black water, while pale hands dragged them deeper and deeper into the dark. They dreamed of Hannah smiling beneath the lake with worms moving behind her teeth. They dreamed of Dara standing motionless at the foot of their beds for hours, his head tilted unnaturally sideways. Then the scratching started. Every night at exactly 3:13 a.m., scratching echoed across doors and windows throughout the village. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Some people ignored it. Those people survived. The curious ones opened the door. Those people disappeared. One survivor, an old woman named Maeve, claimed she peeked through her curtains one night and saw the couple standing in the road together. Dara was covered in mud and blood. Hannah wore a white dress soaked black from lake water. But what terrified Maeve most was their faces. They were smiling too wide, far too wide, like their jaws had been pulled open by invisible hands. She said Hannah slowly lifted one finger toward the window and whispered, open quote, "We know you're awake," close quote. Maeve died of a heart attack before sunrise. As months passed, Blackmere emptied. Families fled. Shops closed. Roads cracked and disappeared beneath weeds. But no matter how far people ran, the couple followed. A man moved 200 miles away after seeing Darag outside his home one night. 3 weeks later, police found him inside his apartment bathtub filled with lake water. His fingernails had been ripped off trying to claw his way out. The bathroom mirror had only one sentence written across it: "You can't leave if you've seen us." The final horror came during winter. A group of teenagers entered Blackmere hoping to film videos for the internet. They laughed at the stories, mocked the curse, broke into Hannah's abandoned house. Their footage was discovered months later. The video begins normally. Jokes, flashlights, nervous laughter. Then the camera catches Hannah standing at the end of a hallway, completely still. The group panics. One boy screams that she isn't blinking. Another notices Derek standing behind them in the reflection of a mirror. Then the audio changes. A low sound fills the recording. Not growling, not static, breathing. Heavy breathing directly beside the microphone. The teenagers run outside toward the lake, but the fog becomes so thick they can't see more than a few feet ahead. That's when they hear Hannah singing. Soft, broken, almost loving. The camera shakes violently as one of the boys turns the flashlight toward the water. Thousands of pale faces are floating beneath the surface, all staring upward, all smiling. Then Darragh appears directly in front of the camera. His eyes are completely white. His mouth hangs open too far for a human face. And in a voice that sounds wet and rotten, he says, open quote, "She asked you to stay." Close quote. The footage ends with screaming. None of the teenagers were ever found. Today, Blackmere is abandoned. No maps mention it anymore. Road signs pointing toward the village disappear overnight. But travelers still report strange things near the mountains. A pale girl standing beside the road holding hands with a tall boy covered in mud. A knock on motel doors at 3:13 a.m., wet footprints appearing beside beds. And sometimes, if you drive near Blackmere Lake after midnight, your radio will stop working. A voice will whisper through the static, open quote, "Love forever means forever." Close quote. Then, in the darkness outside your car, two figures will be waiting, still holding hands, still smiling, still looking for someone to love next.